few weeks I've been going really bananas, and which is great. And but I do think that the season is very much about him realizing that he does need other people to survive. So, do you think that answers your question?
Yeah, perfectly, because we had talked about on Talking Dead, you guys are calling it the Rictatorship now, where he was like, all right, shut up and sit down, now we're doing things my way, or leave. So I think that's a great place to start from season 3. Let's take some audience questions, because I'm sure there are many, and I want to make sure we get to a few. Oh, a lady just appeared. What is your name and what is your question?
My name is Claudia. I'm from Brazil. I'm here on behalf of the Walking Dead Brazil website and Rafael, my friend. You are a hit in Brazil. We have more than 20,000 followers on Twitter. The show is massive there. Anyways, my question is for Andrew. If you have a chance to play any other role on the show, which one would that be?
That's a very interesting question. Well, I'm having a bromance at the moment with Norman Reedus.
Make out.
But Carl is a great character, and I think that it's. I just want to say this about, he is such a gifted actor, and the stuff that he is doing this season is going to blow your mind. He is so talented.
Chandler Riggs, yeah.
And Chandler Riggs, and we are so lucky to have this kid. He makes choices that are way beyond his years, and he's been doing some magnificent work. So I think his journey this season is something that I'm watching very, very carefully, and it's a thrill. So yeah, maybe Carl.
I think there's an interesting parallel between the actor Chandler Riggs and the character of Carl, and that you sort of really get the sense in both instances that, you know, kids are so resilient and they will adapt to whatever situation they're drawn into, because it's just how we survive.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's doing that as an actor and as the role of Carl.
I totally agree, and he's having this oh my God, that's weird.
You.
That's rad. Whoa!
Hey.
Give me my hat back. Give me my hat. I miss my hat, by the way.
I borrowed it for like a minute, and then I just took a picture and I put it down. I'm sorry if I sweated in it. What is your name? Rick Grimes?
I'm Carl, actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my name is
No,
Carl.
seriously.
Yeah.
Are you messing with us?
No, I'm dead serious.
All right, okay.
You can look me up on Facebook.
I probably won't do that.
I'm boring. Huge fan of the show. My question is for Mr. Lincoln and Miss Cohen. I'm wondering how you develop such convincing American Southern accents, you know, since you're both Brits.
Jessica Drake.
Mm-hmm.
She's, Andy and I both work with the same, actually David knows as well, we work with a really wonderful dialect coach, and we have Skype sessions every Sunday. It's kind of like church. And I think it's been about a few key exercises and then staying in it. Andy sets an amazing example. I mean, he's in his accent from the second he arrives until he leaves, and I think that's something I've learned is a really good way to go. And I don't know, the one thing you have to be careful of, when I first started, there are a lot of Teamsters involved and people in our crew that are from the South, and their accents are extremely strong. So when you actually first start practicing it, there's a danger of getting a real drawl, which is a complete exaggeration and not true to it at all.
If you just go sit in a Cracker Barrel for 4 hours, you'll pick it up real quick. How about you, Andrew? How did you adapt so well to the accent?
Yeah, I think that we're lucky that we filmed down in the South, and the character, the dialect is of that area, and it's just the rhythms. If you live and work around people that are in the same sort of ballpark dialect, it really, really helps. And in fact, you know, I'm like a sponge. I just sort of absorb sort of inflection, and it's also, I just love living and working in America. And it's been, you know, I start my coffee shop people. I just want to big them up because my character is built on caffeine and tension, and that's Aurora Coffee Shop in Atlanta. They wanted me to wear a t-shirt, but I didn't. Why am I talking about this? They don't hear this silly voice that I put on for Comic-Con. They only hear the real dialect. So
Oh, that's cool. So you practice with it all day when you're...
Yeah, I just kind of stay in dialect.
Didn't they have to dial you back?
They did, yeah. They said that. I think it was Gail who actually came up to me and said, "Andy, dial it in. We don't want to have to subtitle you." Because I think me and John in that opening car sequence, you know, when we're talking in the car, we went a little rural.
So. A little bit rural. What did that sound like?
Watch the first episode and you'll see.
What is your name, sir? What's your question?
My name's Ryan, and I wanted to ask the producers and the writers, there's a lot that you guys get away with on TV, but how did you get away with Andrea grabbing Shane? That was like full frontal, she just went for it, and it was intense. What's going on?
First of all, it sounds like you were super way into it. How did you get that sweet Andrea on Shane action, man? She just got in there and worked it.
Hands. It was the hands. We didn't show anything. You should have seen what we did that got cut.
That was that guy's only question. Woo! Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name's Vanessa.
Hello, Vanessa.
Hi, and I'm a lady who loves sweaty rednecks.
Call me.
Oh, anytime. Norman, you're my favorite.
Oh, thanks for that.
You know Norman's not really a sweaty redneck, though. You know that, right? He's a guy...
No, I know.
Okay.
That makes it
You're just saying no matter what. Doesn't matter.
I'll take him.
Okay, good. Sure, done. I used to host a dating show. I know how this shit works.
Oh, great. Works for me. My question is for Robert. Are we ever gonna know the history of Daryl Dixon? I really appreciate that, so please.
I love you, by the way.
I will say, so here's the thing, the show doesn't necessarily like to look back. We don't like to go too far into flashback mode, but I will say there is a new game coming from Activision that features Daryl Dixon as a main character, and it's all about him and Merle in the early days of the apocalypse, killing zombies.
You will get to get inside the head of the guy you love and control him. Thank you very much. Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Jessica, and I love Steven.
Hi.
He's blushing, he just turned red! He's turning red!
Wait a minute. How old are you?
I'm 12.
Okay. All right. Back it up. Anyway, it is very respectable to meet you, young lady. What is your question?
My question is, if you're stuck in a real-life apocalypse, how do you think your chances of are surviving?
Me personally, or all of us?
I don't really care.
She's awesome.
Kids are honest.
This is the greatest question ever.
Can we get her on our show?
You know, the chance of me surviving, I can be resourceful, but also I'm sometimes a little lazy, so you know, it depends how it all works out. I think I answered this before, but if the situation calls that there are a lot of attractive women around and just me, I'll stay, but
in 6 years.
in a while, in a little while. I was gonna say scouting, but that's a terrible thing.
Yeah, no.
It's a terrible thing. And if not, if there's just a bunch of bros, we'll just just, well, maybe I'll just lay down and let one bite me, so.
I love that there's your plan. You're like, what a sausage party here to eat my face. I'm gonna stick around for this. What a weirdo apocalypse plan. Well, yeah, I'll stick around. We're like, not if there's dudes.
This is apocalypse. There's only dudes. It's perfect.
That's the weirdest answer ever. Thank you, poor scarred girl.
Thank you.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Richard, and I have a question for Robert. Daryl being such a popular character, would you ever consider him being a character in the comic book?
Never. No. I mean, there's. I have the story in the comic book plotted out for quite a long time, and working something new in that is, I'm just gonna say thank you for asking a question.
You can't say. I mean, without going into too much detail, but things. We've talked before about things that happened in the comic book. And I go, wow, when did you think of that? And you're like, oh, that was 2 years ago. Like, you really mapped out the arc of the comics, way in advance.
Yeah, and I mean, I have, a chance to change course and do different things every now and then, but for the most part, I'm working way ahead.
Yeah. All right, hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name's Madeline, and I'm also in love with Steven.
Whoa. Well, we know your demographic now, Steve. And we know that you should not be allowed at Legoland or any place.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna just throw you into the Twilight pen.
I love you too. Yeah, thank you very much. Man, I'm so red right now.
What is your question, young lady?
I was wondering who is most like the character in the show and who is the least like the character in the show.
Okay, yeah, just really quickly, if we go down, that's a good question. Let's start with Andrew.
Well, I look a lot like my character.
Sound just like him.
Sound not so good. And I don't know, I mean, I wish I mean, this is the joy of being an actor. You get to play people that you would never really be. And I love Rick, and for all of his faults and all of his strengths. And I don't think I'm anything really like him. You should probably ask, my wife, TV wife.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the sense of me being not your wife, I would hope I'm pretty different from Lori in some significant ways. I imagine my husband and my real life daughter would prefer that I not be like her in some significant ways. And so with his best friend, I think...
Kill your best friend, kill your best friend. Why'd you kill your best friend? But you said what they were.
That was basically season 1 and 2. Well done. Well done, yeah.
Well, I don't think people hold you accountable for Lori's actions. I mean, but I think it is a tribute to the level of acting on the show where people really assign that stuff to you guys as actors. They're like, how could you do that? And you're like, I'm playing a part.
Oh yeah, I mean the number of people who've come up to me and been like, I can't believe you slept with your husband's best friend, and I've like got my daughter and I'm in the grocery store and I'm like, I'm Sarah. I play a home wrecker on TV.
Oh, can you introduce Stephen Young to my 12-year-old daughter? Oh, come on. What about your character, Norbert? How much do you feel like you have in common with Daryl?
Well, my son came to Georgia 2 weeks ago, and I took him fishing, and we didn't get a nibble for 5 hours. And somebody asked me, well, what do you use for bait? And I said, old bacon that was in the fridge, thinking that everybody loves bacon. So
Yep, people and fish alike.
Yeah.
Everyone loves bacon.
I'm nothing like Daryl.
What about you, Lori?
Well, Andrea's changed a lot on her journey. I think now, today, I think I'm probably closest to Andrea, personally. Yeah, so it's close. Mind you, that could change at any moment because she's very mercurial. But,
Yeah. Well, they kind of have to be. I mean, just with the world they live in, they kind of have to be that sort of emotionally nimble, I guess.
Yeah.
Steve, what about you? We've got you talked about that before.
Yeah, I mean, I think early on it was a reflection of Glenn was a reflection of kind of how I was younger. Kind of chip on the shoulder, wanting to prove himself, and thank you. I love you too.
How old are you?
Well, yeah, how old are you? Yeah. Let me see your ID.
Get used to that phrase.
I wasn't as popular with the younger ladies back then, so I don't think in that regard I'm so similar. I have no idea what's going on.
What about you, Lauren? What about you and Maggie? Do you see similarities?
Yeah, I think Maggie's kind of a romantic. That's what I have in common with her. And, my weapon skills are pretty amazing. And, yeah, and I like boys that usually attract 12-year-olds. Not true, that's a joke.
What about, I think this would be interesting for Denai and David, who just basically, you've just come in, well, now you spent a lot of time with these characters over the last several months, but how, do you feel anything of you in Michonne, Denai?
Yeah, I mean, well, sometimes I wish I was more like her. She's, so insanely sharp, and her instincts are just spot on in a way that is amazing. I think I think about it a lot sometimes, and I'm like, if I were in this realm, who would I become? And I think that's also the beauty of the show. Who would you become if you were in a realm this dire? And I think I hope I could become get as much dexterity as her, and get as smart and sharp as her. But I think definitely there's an aspect of me that I have a bit of a lioness in me, and she's all lioness. So it's really about accessing that lioness part of me and allowing that to really show.
I mean, obviously, if you're an actor and you're accessing emotions, there's some parts of you that you have to bring to the character because that's just how it works. And for David, what about for you and the Governor?
Yeah, I think if I was given half the chance, I probably would be like the Governor. Denai's right. I think we don't know who we are until we're challenged, and this is a very challenging world. We like to think of the best aspects of ourselves, but we don't know ourselves until we're really put into the fight, and these people are fighting. So what you want for yourself and you hope for yourself, and it doesn't necessarily mean to say that is the case when you get into the pit. So
it really was like I could just listen to you talk about things and be like, whatever you say, I'm in. I don't care what it is. I think we have a very special announcement from Greg Nicotero.
Well, I actually went through the crowd earlier, and what we wanted to do is, I don't know, when you watch the show, what we give away every once in a while is an opportunity for someone to have their head cast, and my team turns them into a walker. So you get a bust made of you, and you come to my studio, we cast your head. So I was zipping through these 6,000 so people earlier, and saw a woman that I think would be fantastic, and her name is Lorena Gonzalez.
Where's Lorena Gonzalez? ¿Dónde está Lorena Gonzalez?
So she's right there. So she's going to come. She is going to come to the shop, and we're going to make a zombie bust of her.
That's awesome! Congratulations, Lorena Gonzalez. Well done. I've just been told we have time for one more question, so let's go to that one more question.
Wow, that's serious. Okay, I have a quick shout out to Norman. You're so kind to your fans on Twitter, and it's so appreciated.
Thanks, babe.
And my question is, why do you write the women on the show so scary? They creep up to the men saying, you should kill Shane, he thinks I'm his, or it's a dictatorship, take over. Why don't they ever do it themselves?
Oh, wait till you see this season.
Was that for Robert or for Norman?
For the writers with the women.
Oh, okay, because you were talking about Norman. You're like, Norman, how come you write the show? We're like, what? That's not how that works.
That's a great idea. Maybe they will.
See? The system works!
And for what it's worth, I think, since you bring up a specific scene, I think Lori did everything she could to handle Shane. And she did everything she could to manage that situation. And she only brought it to Rick. She didn't tell him to kill him. She told him to watch his back. And she was right, because Shane tried to kill him. And the right man ended up winning that fight, because she warned her husband.
Oh, shit. Nice. My wife. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good answer. I think that is a great way to end the discussion portion of this panel, but I feel like if you guys are up for it, we should just probably watch the trailer one more time before we end this. So we're going to watch the trailer one more time, and then we'll say goodbye. Coming up, please, huge hand, Robert Kirkman, Dave Albert, Greg Nicotero, Gail Ann Hurd, Glenn Mazzara, Sarah Wayne Felice, Norman Regis, Lori Holman, Stephen Yan, Laura Cohen, Dana Guerrera, and David Morrissey. Thank you so much for coming out to Hall H, guys. See you soon. Enjoy your con.